Start in an upright seat with your shoulders stacked directly on top of your hips. You want to interlace your fingers behind your back, keeping your palms sealed, and then you'll begin to straighten your elbows, almost locking them, and then begin to lift your hands as high as they can go. Allow yourself to roll your shoulders down and back for the best stretch of your life. To add a little more into this stretch, you can actually bend your elbows and bring your hands over to the right or left without dropping the opposite elbow. So on this side, you don't want to drop your left elbow. You want to actually keep both of them even. And you can, after a bit, straighten your arms and try to get on the opposite side. And again, same thing, making sure your palms stay together. You're going to actually squeeze your elbows together while they're bent. And as an added bonus, added bonus, I'm going to see if you can start to gently pull your hands away from your side. So it looks like my hands are resting on my left hip, but they're not. I'm pulling away. So this next one is probably my absolute favorite. I'm probably going to say that about all of these, but you will walk your hands back as far as they can go and just take at least 3 breaths in the position. Your legs don't really matter, but I like to keep my legs straight, but you can bend your knees, you can cross your legs, whatever feels best for you, but leg straight is my absolute favorite in this position. Next up is going to be a reverse tabletop. So from the previous stretch, you just turn your wrist so that your fingertips turn into your body, and then you bend your knees and begin to lift your hips as high as it can go and let your head hang, or my head's not really hanging here, but lift your hips as high as you can and put all of the weight into your hands. From there, you are going to go into a opposite shoulder stretch. Lift your right hand up into the air, bend your elbow and float that hand in between your shoulder blades. You're going to take your opposite hand, which in this case would be my left hand, and then you're going to start to walk that hand down your back by pushing your elbow just a little bit. And so you want to do your best to keep your chin out of your chest, and again, avoid leaning forward. And so I'm going to do it again on the opposite side so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Don't force it. There's a big difference between pain and discomfort, so I do not want you to force this. Another really yummy stretch, might be a little intense for some, but again, this is one of my favorites. You're gonna start down, face down, with your chin down, and you're gonna open up your arms like a letter T. You're gonna place your left hand into the ground by your breastbone, and then push so you can roll yourself over your open arm. And it's really good for the front of your shoulder. For added stretch, you can step your top foot behind the bottom foot. So this one, step the left foot behind the right foot, so it's more pressure on that shoulder. Here's a different view of that stretch, but y'all, when I kicked that foot back there, I really thought I was gonna fall off the ends of the earth. I don't know, it just felt like such a big drop, and I know it's not, but ew, this is just a different view. This stretch here is actually very similar to the first one we did. You interlace your fingers behind your back as you're laying face down. You start with your forehead down. Interlace your fingers together. Lift your hands as high as they can go, and just lock your elbows. In the spirit of adding a little bit more, you can begin to lift your chest, your head, and your upper body away from the floor as you keep your knees and your ankles down. It's a really good stretch. And last is something really simple. This is a stretch that I learned in track. I don't know why we were doing this in track when we needed our legs, not our arms, but whatever. So you're gonna bring your arm across your chest, bring the opposite arm, and make somewhat of a hook right below your elbow, and then just pull. So it'll stretch out that back of the shoulder really well.